All right, this is part 2 of Nude elections coming in November. All right, and it's not going to be a very long one. This one's going to be short. I saw a few videos about dead Ambassador Stevens, and the guy says that he's being drugged through the streets, but the video just shows him laying there, and the video shows the Libyans holding him up to show pictures, but they don't show any like bashing the body or dragging it behind a truck, and you see that it's him being dragged. I want to see those videos before I make a judgment. I mean, we're not there. None of us are. And you can make a video and make people think bad things when that's not what was going on at all. So, before you jump to conclusions and say that that's what was happening, I think you need to back up. Now, I have a way that would have stopped terrorism, and if I'd been elected in the year 2000, 9/11 would never have happened. Remember, I predicted 9/11 7 years before it happened? Also, I would have set an example for these inappropriately called terrorists. I think it's really delusional and a big mistake to call them terrorists to begin with. I never agreed with calling anybody who does stuff like that a terrorist. That's not a terrorist to me. To me, those kind of people are just punks. When you call them terrorist, and you use the word terrorism, you're giving them a moniker, almost like a flag, to wave in your face. So that's not what this is. You people, you've got it all wrong. Your psychology was wrong from the very beginning on how to fight this quote-unquote alleged terrorism. It's a big mistake. Anyway, your videos don't impress me on showing Ambassador Stevens dead. I'm sure the guy was a nice guy. I'm sure that him joining the Peace Corps probably was a very good thing. Peace Corps, I've heard, is a very good thing. It tries to do good things around the world. It doesn't sit there and try to start wars or anything like that. So I'm sure that he started off on the right foot. And his videos, I've seen his videos, he seems like a very nice guy. I can't understand why anybody would do something like that to a nice guy. But then I look in the mirror every morning and I go, no, I'm wrong. If he's that nice, I'm that nice. Only I'm not dead, and he is, okay? I'm still alive, suffering from the crap that not the Libyans did to me, but the America did to me. And I'm still going through it. So you think about that. You think about that comparison. And one guy's saying, well, he's an ambassador and we should mount a war. And there's people that are angry, of course. They say, let's bomb the hell out of Libya. And they're going on and on. I'm reading all these comments. And I'm going, it would really be funny if it wasn't so serious. So the real problem here is how to present it. And there's no way to present somebody's death like that. His death is no more or less important than the people in Aurora, Colorado, or the people in Blacksburg, Virginia. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people will say, hey, this guy in the past has said, good, you deserve the violence. Yes, I did. You deserve it because you're stupid. I told you already for more than 3 years, I know how to stop all that. And instead of the media saying, oh, coming to the table, Caesar, what's your plan? What's your idea? What's your secret invention that would stop all this? Well, I can't really talk about it because I'm sure as soon as I talk about it, it's not mine anymore. It belongs to somebody else, and someone else would take the credit for it. If I talked about it on YouTube, no one would ever give me credit for it. And I'm sure there are the bleeding hearts who would say, well, you're not really a good person, because a good person would give that. If you really truly had a way of non-violently stopping all this violence from ever happening again, you would give it to the world for free. Sorry, you haven't worked hard enough to prove to me that you're worthy of that. You certainly haven't proved to me that you're worthy of even voting for me, because you don't care. You care more about watching the media and your SUV and your general lifestyle that you live, and you go vote for somebody who has more money than their bank account than you do. You're just living from paycheck to paycheck. You're the slob and the loser, and you actually believe either this dual dictatorship, Romney or Obama, or any other moron that gets up there, male or female, that calls themselves some quote-unquote, I'm a leader, I know how to lead. In the recording industry, the leader is a piece of tape, blank tape, at the beginning of the tape to save you tape so you can get the most out of your recording tape. That's what a leader is. And that's what we've got, blank leadership. Or maybe I should call it blankety-blank leadership. So, where does this all go? It goes absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Because this video isn't going to be, even if it's heard by everybody in the United States, nobody wants to comment on it. First of all, they have to be at the same level of my intelligence, and that are going to be very far and few in between people that would fit that qualification. And then those that do watch it are either going to put me down or do their thumbs down thing and not really even know who I am or know what I'm about or know why I talk the way I do and know why I say that you all deserve the violence. There's a trick to talking and trying to display any kind of argument. And the trick is, at least in America, is to say the most outrageous things you can, even if they are racial, because that's what the media watches. I was watching a couple of YouTubes last week, and it was about the stormtroopers, the white supremacists, you know, in the South, the KKK and the Nazi on their emblems on their thing, and I look at them and I say, well, you know, here's the media, and they got trucks outside their compound, and they're interviewing them. I mean, you know, this is what attract you people. This is what you people gravitate towards. You don't gravitate towards a peaceful solution. You gravitate towards this ridiculous nonsense that we have to watch on TV every so often or every other day. So where do we go with this recording? What's really proven by all my recordings? Did I really cause a revolution? Did anybody come and say, okay, let's do even for 1 month. Let's take all our money out of the banks. Let's stop buying gasoline for a week or 2 weeks or a month if we can do it. Let's ride a bike for a month. Let's do this just to show the government who's really in charge. And then when the government's begging and pleading us to put everything back the way it was, to go back to normal life we're living right now, if you want to call it normal, then stick the knife in and say, nope, there's a condition. And you point to me and you say, he has to be in a rulership. He has to be above the president, the vice president, the Congress, the Senate, because he's got the plan. And I do. I've already proved it with the spherical oil tanker. How much more proof do you people need? Or the two-story house that would have saved all that water from 1984 to now. All that water would never have been pumped, extra water, if the houses they started building two-story houses the way I said to build them. Instead, you people don't care. You're so tied up. I understand some of you are tied up in your own life and you're so busy you can't keep your head above the water just trying to keep up with your own life. How can you even bother thinking about who to vote for? I understand that argument. I understand all phases, all sides of those arguments. But they don't matter when the country falls apart. When people are losing their houses right and left. When you have attorney generals like Ms. Harris who never said anything about retroactive pay for the people who've already lost their houses. And yet she said on the news, $18 billion. Is anybody listening to me? Is ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, are they going to invite me to a... Oh, yeah, sure, they might. But, hey, when's the election? November? What's today? September the 24th? Oh, my God. It's like a little more than 35 days away. Oh, wow. In the last 4 elections, when I ran for president, that's always when they came to get an interview from me. Either radio stations, the BBC, They always a month before, and I get an article in a magazine. Oh yeah, that happens all of a sudden, 2 weeks before the election. And of course, the magazine's printed after the election. So everyone goes, ha 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 ha. That's not why I'm doing these videos. That's not at all why I'm doing these videos. I'm doing these videos for myself and for the people that are like me that really believe in this country and really want to do something about it. Not the people who are Democrat or Republican or Obama, health care. Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear that garbage. It's all garbage. You got to throw that all away. Sweep it into the corner. It's nonsense. All it has done is made the insurance companies richer. And that's got to stop too. I told you, I know how to stop tornadoes, and I know how to protect against tornadoes. I know how to protect. The insurance companies should love me for that. They should go, wow, he knows how to stop tornadoes? Wow, we don't have to give tornado insurance anymore. We don't have to put out billions of dollars in damages. We should be talking to him. No, I haven't heard one word from any of them. But if I do have a scientific way of dealing with this problem, and it works, hey, where's everybody? I don't see him coming in here to 21044 Sherman Way. I don't see them baiting down the door wanting to do an interview with me. I don't see news crews out there or anything like that. You know why? Because you don't care. And that's where my philosophy comes in of you really don't care. So you deserve the violence. You deserve the droughts. You deserve all this crap that happens to you. You deserve the earthquakes. Hell, there might even be a way I could even protect from earthquakes too, but I haven't been really working on that lately. Actually, I have been working on some of that, but that requires that I have some kind of place to do it in, and I don't have a place to do it in. You know why? Because the city of Los Angeles destroyed me. They came, and I'm repeating myself. You know, they say that one friend of mine watched my videos, a few of them, and said, you know, you're too repetitive. Yeah, I am. I know I'm too repetitive. And he says, well, people aren't going to listen to that. Well, they listen to that every 4 years. They listen to that every time a politician promises, oh, we'll get peace someday. Oh, I promise you elect me, I'll get you better health care. You promise you elect me, I'll do this. That's a standard phrase for all politicians. That's repetitive, isn't it? And you're willing to listen to rap music for hours at a time. And you're willing to go to church and listen to sermons hours at a time. You're willing to believe all that, but you're not willing to change the government. All the churches aren't. I don't see them all banding together saying, hey, we're going to rise up together. We're all going to band together no matter what beliefs we are, and we're going to protest against the government permanently. Take our money out of the bank, stop buying gasoline, blah, 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 boycott. Oh, by the way, before I leave you, do you know where the word boycott came from? I think I mentioned this already. A guy named Cunningham Boycott. He was an Irish dude. He collected rents in Ireland. People in Ireland didn't like him very much. But that's where the word boycott came from. Just a little bit of history for you to go off and check it out. So that's what I'm asking you to do. Boycott the country. Show them who's boss. As soon as you do that, I will start the wheels in motion to stem the tide of what you inappropriately call, including the president and all these experts in anti-terrorism. You have to stop calling it that. I wasn't willing to call it that even before 2000. Even at the time when the Israelis got killed in the 70s, when they all got shot, I refused to call them terrorists. Are you kidding? They're not terrorists. They're just punks. You got to be kidding. Why do you give them a moniker? That's now become Carlos the terrorist. Oh man, remember him? He thought he was like James Bond. I mean, they glorified him in the media, just about. So, you people are the joke, not me. You think about it for a while. Just sit there and look into space and think about some of the stuff I've said. You're going, you know, what you should be impressed by is, you know, as crazy as Caesar sounds sometimes, I know he rants and raves, but I know he's repetitive, just like all the other politicians. There's no difference, because there can't be any difference. Every politician is going to tell you, I promise I will do things better to help you than anyone else. I can only say the same thing they said, because that's what I'm doing. But I'm not asking you to elect me president. I may be a presidential candidate. No, I want you to boycott the country, bring it to its knees. Once you do that, then I can spring into action. But only after that's done. because then the government would have no choice. They'd have to just part themselves like the Red Sea. They'd have to become just like the Red Sea. The ocean is now parted on their own volition, and they have to just accept me as the person who's going to set down not the rules, not the laws, but the real plan of action that's necessary in order to straighten out your things that you claim you all have problems with. Some of them would already be solved. Oil spills, natural disasters like these droughts, which I term as a natural disaster because it doesn't have to happen. It shouldn't have. You were listening all to the wrong people all this time. All right, so much for that. That's part 2 of nude elections coming in November. Because I have to use the word nude in front, otherwise nobody will watch the videos.